All right, let's talk about Black Swan. Darren Aronofsky's film from 2010. It's one of those movies that people either absolutely love or they despise. There's really no in between. Even now, all these years later, it's still this brilliant, kind of horrifying film that just splits people right down the middle. So, what's the deal? Why is it so divisive? Well, let's break it down. So, on one hand, you have this really intense, almost personal backlash from the ballet community itself. I mean, just look at this quote from the blog The Classical Girl. This really sums it up. For a lot of dancers, the movie wasn't just getting things wrong, it felt like a personal attack, like a total misrepresentation of their entire world. But then, on the complete other side of the spectrum, you have reviews like this one from The Guardian. Critics just fell in love with it, calling it a masterpiece. A glittering, crackling, outrageously pickable scab of a film. I mean, wow. So how is that possible? How can a movie be both hated and celebrated so fiercely? That's the big question we're going to dig into. Okay, so let's start with the biggest critics, the people who actually live and breathe this stuff. We're talking about the professional ballet world. For them, the movie's connection to reality is, well, let's just say it's a little shaky. For an actual dancer watching this film, it must have been like a constant stream of, nope, that's wrong. First off, the portrayal of Nina as this fragile, wilting flower, dancers say, no way. They're athletes, they're warriors, conditioned to handle incredible pain and rejection. And then there are the little things that just drive them crazy. Like nobody, and I mean nobody, shows up to a morning class in full stage makeup. And rehearsing with your hair down, it's not some freeing artistic statement, it just gets in your eyes. Plus, they point to these tired stereotypes, the harassing director, the creepy stage mom, that just make their whole profession look kinda sleazy. And hey, it goes way beyond just the small details. The whole setup of the ballet company in the movie is just not real. It's built for Hollywood drama. In the real world, big companies have lots of principal dancers, not just one star. A massive production like Swan Rake, it would have multiple casts ready to go, not just one understudy. And maybe the biggest one of all, the idea that Nina could become a principal dancer so quickly. For people who have trained since they were kids, literally dedicating their entire lives to this art form, that's just, well, it's pretty insulting. Okay, so we've heard the critique from the dance world, it's totally valid, but what if they're looking at it all wrong? What if the point of Black Swan was never to be a realistic ballet movie? What if ballet is just the setting for something much, much darker? This is where everything kind of clicks into place. You have to stop thinking of Black Swan as a ballet movie and start seeing it for what it really is, a psychological thriller. The goal isn't accuracy. The goal is to throw you into the high-stakes, high-pressure world of ballet to watch someone's mind completely unravel. The ballet is the backdrop, not the subject. And if you look at how the story is built, it totally backs this up. The plot isn't really about, oh, will Nina get her dance moves right? No, it's a one-way ticket down. It's a spiral into madness. Every single part of the film is engineered to turn up the psychological pressure, pushing her further and further over the edge until the very end. And here's where it gets really clever. It's how the movie is actually shot. The camera work is designed to mess with your head. It's shaky, it's handheld, it follows Nina around like a stalker, so you never feel safe. You're trapped with her in these super tight close-ups. The world around her literally looks distorted and oppressive. The whole point is to make you feel as anxious and confused as she is. You start to question what's real too. All right, so let's peel back another layer and get to the heart of why this movie is just so unsettling. We need to go inside Nina's fractured mind. So this is the million-dollar question that everyone asks after watching this movie. What was real and what wasn't? And the answer is pretty much nothing, or at least none of the really shocking stuff. We're seeing the entire story through Nina's eyes, and she is a completely unreliable narrator. We are literally watching her psychosis play out. So think about it. That creepy woman on the subway who looks just like her? Probably not real. The intense sexual encounter with Lily? Almost certainly a hallucination. Beth stabbing herself in the face? Another vision. And this all leads to the most gut-wrenching twist of all, that crazy fight where she thinks she kills Lily in the dressing room? Yeah, that didn't happen. That was Nina, all alone, stabbing herself. Her big moment of triumph was actually suicide. So, to really get what's happening here, we have to talk about this idea of the doppelganger, or the double. It's this concept of a sinister twin that represents all the parts of ourselves that we hide away. And in this movie, Lily is Nina's doppelganger. She's not just some rival dancer. She is everything Nina is afraid to be. She's free, she's sexual, she's spontaneous. Lily is the Black Swan. And for Nina to become the Black Swan, she has to confront and become this person that terrifies her. And boom, that's where it all clicks. All those things we talked about, the ballet mistakes, the thriller structure, the insane hallucinations, they're all pointing in the same direction. They all serve this one single brutal theme, the obsessive, terrifying pursuit of perfection and the madness that comes with it. Okay, so let's tie all of this together and really get to the bottom of this idea, the price of perfection. See, the movie isn't trying to be a perfect documentary about ballet. It's using ballet as a perfect metaphor. Think about it. Ballet is all about brutal discipline, total control, and this obsession with being perfect, weightless, flawless. What better setting could there be for a story about someone's internal battle to destroy their own imperfections? And that brings us to her last words, which are just so tragic. As she's dying, she says, "I felt it. It was perfect." And in a way, she's right. She achieved her goal. She gave the perfect performance. But the cost was everything. She had to completely annihilate herself to achieve it. To create the perfect art, she had to destroy the artist. And in the end, that's the question the film leaves you with, and it's why it sticks with you. It doesn't really matter if you think it's a brilliant thriller or an inaccurate ballet movie. Either way, it makes you think about the dark side of ambition. It forces you to ask yourself a really uncomfortable question. Is perfection really worth the price?